God be the glory in the highest. I greet every one of you in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Our subject of discussion today is refuting the supposed contradictions between Matthew chapter 8 verses 28 to 34 and Mark chapter 5 verses 1 to 20. It has been said by non-Christians that these two verses were contradicting, and there is no single contradiction between them. Now, in the book of Matthew chapter 8 verses 28 to 34, it was said that two men possessed of the devil came to Jesus Christ at Gergesin. But in the book of Mark chapter 5 verses 1 to 20, it was said that a man possessed of the devil came to Jesus Christ in Gergesin or Gadarenes. So I'm happy to tell you today that there's no difference between Gadarenes and Gergesins. They meant the same thing. But how can we make it up? One thing is that I will give an illustration of what happened in the Bible to Jesus Christ and to the lepers. In the book of Luke chapter 17 verses 11 to 19, it was said that 10 lepers came to Jesus Christ for healing, and Jesus Christ told them to go and show themselves to the priests, and they were all healed. But one of them came to Jesus Christ and said thank you to Jesus Christ. 9 of them did not come to Jesus Christ to say thank you. Now, let's now say that you were called on to write. Let's say that a man was called on to write his story now. 2 people were called to write the story now. Two of them, we have different thing in mind to write about the story. Now, let's say that man A wants to write about the story. Man A can choose the topic, the grateful leper, while man B can choose the topic, the ungrateful leper. The one that chooses the grateful leper can just say that a leper came to Jesus Christ for healing, and Jesus Christ healed him, and what? And he came back again to say thank you to Jesus, which means that the leper came to Jesus Christ, and when Christ said that he should go and show himself to the priest, he received his healing and he came back to Jesus Christ. That is the man writing on the grateful leper. Let's say that another man was told to write on the ungrateful lepers. The man can say that 9 lepers came to Jesus Christ for healing, and Christ told them that they should go and show themselves to the priest, and they received their healing, and they did not come back to Jesus Christ to say thank you. Now, look closely to the 2 people that wrote those stories. You know that it's a single story, and 2 people write 2 different things on them. The first man that wrote about the grateful leper only said that the leper was the leper that received his healing after Christ has told him that go and show yourself to the priest, came back and said thank you. He did not make mention of the 9 other ungrateful lepers when he was trying to write on the grateful leper. My question is that, does that negate the fact that the other 9 lepers did not come to Jesus Christ? No. But what the person that is writing it have in mind is that he wants to focus on the grateful leper only. Now let's consider the man B. The man B that told us that Christ, the man B, I mean the second one, the man B that told us about what happened to the ungrateful lepers. The man that said that the ungrateful leper, that 9 lepers came to Jesus Christ, and when Christ said that they should go and show themselves to the priest, they also received their healing and did not come back to Jesus Christ. Does the man B made mention of 10 lepers? He did not make mention of the 10 lepers. He made mention of only 9 lepers. But does that mean that it's only 9 lepers that came to meet Jesus Christ? No. Now, grateful leper made mention of only 1 leper that received healing and came to Jesus Christ, and the writer B, man B, made mention of 9 lepers that received their healing and did not come to Jesus Christ. But summarily, it is not only 9 lepers that came to Jesus Christ, it was 10, but the man B chose to mention only 9. So the grateful leper, the person writing on grateful leper, chooses to major on only 1 of the lepers and did not mention other 9. But that does not deny the existence of those 9 lepers, that it was 10 lepers that actually came at the same time to Jesus Christ. Thank you, Abba. By the grace of God, that is what actually happened in the book of Matthew chapter 8 verses 28 to 34 and Mark chapter 5 verses 1 to 20. In Matthew chapter 8 verses 28 to 34, it was said that 2 men possessed of the devil came to Jesus Christ. was met by Jesus Christ. Christ actually came to Gadgesin, and two of them went to meet Jesus Christ. Two of them have contact with Jesus Christ. Those two men possessed of the devil. But when the gospel of when the writer of Mark wanted to write it, he said that a man possessed of the devil came to meet Jesus Christ in Gadgesin or Gadarenes. Can you now see that there's no contradiction between the two? What the gospel writer of Matthew have in mind is only on the healing. If you read from Matthew chapter 8 verses 28 to 34, you will see that only healing was said about the two possessed man. But if you go to the book of Mark chapter 5 verses 1 to 20, it talks about their healing. It talks about it talks about the healing of the possessed man. The gospel of Mark did not mention the second person. It mentioned only one man. But if you should read it very well, it did not say that it's only a man that was present in Gadgesin that was possessed. He just said a man. A man did not mean only one man. A man did not mean only one man. If it is only one man, now you can say that it's only one man that exists in what? In Gadgesin, in the tomb that Jesus Christ went to meet them. But he said that a man. So the writer of Gospel of Mark, the two stories, if you read it very well, in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 8 verses 28 to 34. Now, two possessed men met Jesus Christ, and both of them were healed. But in the book of Mark chapter 5 verses 1, the gospel writer of Mark only have two things in mind. He did not write on the healing. He did not have the healing in mind, but he has the mind to write something that happened after healing. Life after healing. Life after healing was what Mark have in mind, and that is what he wrote about. Now, after the healing of the man that was mentioned, after the healing of the both of them, one man out of them now said that, Jesus Christ, I want to follow you. The second man did not say that I want to follow you. That is why Mark writer did not write about him. And when he said, I want to follow you, Christ told him that, don't follow me. Go and tell other people. Go and tell other people, your people, how God has had compassion on you. Can you now see the story now, that the same story was written by Mark and Matthew, but Matthew look one side of the story and he talk about the healing. When he talk about the healing, two of them were healed. But the writer of Mark did not look at the side of healing. He looked at the side of life after healing. What happened after healing? That is why he wrote about how the man, that is why I made mention of only one man that truly showed gratefulness to follow Jesus Christ after he has been healed, and how the man went to preach the gospel. In the book of Matthew chapter 8 verses 28 to 34, you can't see it there that two of them, one of them, it was not written that one of them came to said unto Jesus Christ that let me follow you, and it was not recorded that one of them went to preach. But in the book of Mark chapter 5 verse 1 to 20, it was said that after the man was healed, he told Jesus Christ, let me follow you. And Jesus Christ said that, don't follow me, but go and tell your people how God has had mercy upon you. You can now see that two of them write about the same story. Summarily, it is two people that were possessed of the devil, where Christ went to meet them in Gadarenes. And the two people were healed, but it is only one of them that showed his readiness to follow Christ, and it is only one of them that went to preach Jesus Christ. Now, if you now compare, if you now make an analogy, if you now relate the example I've given you about the 10 lepers that was healed, but one of them was told, one of them came back to thank Jesus Christ, and 9 of them did not come back to thank Jesus Christ. Don't forget that man A wrote about the grateful leper, while man B wrote about the ungrateful lepers. Man A that wrote about the grateful leper only talk about one of them one of the leper and did not mention the other 9. While Mambi that wrote about the ungrateful lepers only made mention of 9 and never made mention of 10. You see that both of them did not make mention of 10 lepers. The one that wrote ungrateful leper made mention of only 1 leper, while the one that wrote on ungrateful leper made mention of only 9 lepers. But it is not only